Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Barakatam, Bashim, Makakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles, Group Stone, Akim Akwath, throughout the four corners of the earth, holding on in sincerity and in truth to the testament of the Lord Amashiach Yahushai. This Bram Nasha DC camp, another lesson for the hopeful elect. Here's just another short lesson that that can be useful. Just little things here and there. All right. So I'm just going to go into this topic about our captivity and how the Lord has made it possible for us to remember our heritage. All right. So when you start with Genesis chapter 47, it tells you clearly that our forefathers were in the land of Egypt when they received the blessing in Genesis chapter 49. All right. And then when you start to read, just read the first 6 verses in Genesis chapter 47. It says, Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, My father and my brethren and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, What is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, The servants are shepherds, but both we and also our fathers. All right. Then it says in verse 4, Then they said moreover unto Pharaoh, For to sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for thy flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now, therefore, we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, Thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. The land of Egypt is before thee. The land of Egypt is before thee. In the best of the land make thy father and thy brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen, all right, in the land of Goshen let them dwell. And if thou knowest any man of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. It's that clear, all right? So that was the point right there that we all have to remember. This is exactly how the Lord set it up. So when you read chapter 48 tells you about how Isaac, Slakia, Jacob, how Jacob was having a conversation with Joseph and his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, had to be blessed. Okay, and it just shows you, man, that no matter where you are, man, the Lord is with you. Things are gonna happen. Okay, things are gonna happen. Things are gonna get established. Right. So it just shows you that you just gotta keep your head up, man. The Lord will always find a way. So when you read Genesis chapter 49, the first 2 verses, it says, Then Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which before you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel, your father. Yeah, so these are just simple observations that you can always take note of, right? So in the land of our captivity, the land when we went to serve Pharaoh, to be so-called Pharaoh's employees, the same place, that our forefather Jacob had to deliver the prophecy to our forefathers, all right, of the 12 tribes. So that's something simple that you can always take note of, and always remember. Let's see. You go to the book of Baruch, chapter 2. Let's look at verse 30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." Yeah, so that's just observation you need to remember. Okay, in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves. Just like they sold Joseph into captivity. That was the precursor. That was a signal that the Lord was gonna, have the whole family migrate into the land of Egypt, in the foreign land, and to be servants, to Pharaoh's administration. So that's a situation, man. The Lord caused that famine in Canaan, just that prophecy will have to be fulfilled. So it's all in the Most High's plan to have these things take place, and that is the facts of history that we have to acknowledge. There is no if, ands, and buts about it. The records are accurate. You have the hieroglyphs, you have the writings, and all that good stuff. Yeah. So what else can we say? All right. So jump to verse 34. It says, "And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them." Yep. So these are just the basics. You have to, remember that is just how the Lord has set it up. Mosiah is going to put you into a difficult situation, then it's going to get you out of it, just to prove to you that He's the Lord, He's the Mosiah, He's the ultimate architect. All right, He's the one that set up the foundation. All right, the one that set up the beginning, the middle, and the end of all things. Okay. Yeah, so that's something simple to consider. And let's go to another precept. It's going to be from the book of Sirach. These are just simple observations that you can take note of. So I will go to, let's start from Sirach 44, verse 19. Yeah, it says this: "Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him, who kept the law of the Most High, and was in covenant with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, and when he was proved, he was found faithful." Yeah, so that's a standard that we have to live up to be found faithful, even at our lowest point. And verse 21 says, "Therefore he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed." All right, that's the 12 tribes, and that he would multiply him as dust of the earth, and exalt his seed as the stars, and cause them to inherit from sea to sea, from the river unto the utmost part of the land. See that? So those are excellent points that you have to stick with. And then verse 22 says, with Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing and gave him an heritage, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes did he part them. Yep. So those are the facts of our blessings, man. It all goes back to the agreement, the covenant that our Most High, all right, made with our forefather Abraham, and then he reaffirmed it with Isaac, with Jacob, and 12 sons, all right, and that's so perfect as the Lord has set it up, okay, and what else? What else we going to look at? All right, easy one. Hebrews chapter, chapter 1. All right, let's look at that. It says, there's the Most High, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in this last day spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world. So it's that simple. Because remember, when the man appeared to our forefather Abraham, it was made known unto him. It was made known unto him the birth of Isaac. All right, and that's an extra. Okay, that's an extra, confirmation that we have to take note of. And then the prophet that had to let Isaac and Rebecca know what was going on with the children in the womb. All right, so it's so perfect how the Lord has set it up. Yeah, so it's clear as crystal, clear as the sun shining in the sky. That's a beautiful experience that you don't want to overlook. All right. So we go back to the book of Baruch. Baruch chapter 2. Look at verse 30. Yeah, it's a beautiful, man. Look at that. For I knew that they would not hear me, but it's a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. And that's exactly what's taking place now. All right. Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. All right. The valley of the dry bones. All right. The breath of life is making its rounds. How people are waking up at alarming rates. That's why the Amalekites woman was classifying Jake as a threat. Well, what can we say? We're almost out of here. All right. So, final precept be from the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. Look at verse 1. It says, for the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai Bashmukadash, will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. That's all we need, That's all we need. Once the Lord has chosen us, we shouldn't be concerned about what the world thinks about us. It's the opinion of the Lord that matters the most. All right, so we shouldn't trim our ways, to get the approval or validation of this nation. So that's the point that I came. Baratazar, you've been edified, and hey, these little observations they help a lot, man. They always pop up to you when you're having your moments of meditation, and it just shows you that hey, we're on the right track, towards being delivered by the Lord Amashak Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash, Shalom.